done Weight Watchers quite a few times, but Weight Watchers has changed the formula yet again, and they have added more 0-point foods. I don't know. Weight Watchers is a great community of people.
You know that as well I've been fighting a lot of health issues. They had a whole bunch of things on display, like already out and ready, so this caught my eye, of course. Pizza. So
I kind of want to talk about kind of some of the things that I'm currently doing for myself right now. I'm not trying to give like weight loss advice. I'm just kind of saying like what I'm doing.
Please do not give us any more advice. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be addressing Amber and Foodie Beauty. As you all know, I have talked a lot about having binge eating disorder and, you know, going through things like that and showing you guys that you can overcome that disorder in those qualities and those actions and impulses that come with that disorder. But there are some YouTubers who are spreading misinformation, trying to give out weight loss advice, and carrying on the stigma that comes with eating disorders. I'm here today to give you some good information on binge eating disorder, as well as share my reactions to these YouTubers, as well as other people's reactions who have binge eating disorder or have had binge eating disorder. First, I want to go into the very basic definition of binge eating disorder. Binge eating disorder, as specified in DSM-5, is when you eat a large amount of food within a short amount of time and feel you can't control what or how much you eat. This doesn't mean that at 12 o'clock at night you got a little hungry and decided to eat some chips. No. Binge eating disorder is when you got hungry at 12 at night and you just decided to finish the large pizza in the fridge, poured yourself 2 bowls of cereal, finished 3 bags of chips in the pantry, and you ate the rest of the cupcakes that were left out from the night before. That's binge eating disorder. Now, in the DSM-5, there are certain criteria you need to meet to be diagnosed with a disorder. From binge eating disorder, you only need 3 out of the 5 to be diagnosed with such disorder. The criteria are eating more rapidly than normal, eating until uncomfortably full, eating large amounts of food when not hungry, eating alone because you are embarrassed about the amount of food, feeling disgusted with oneself, depressed, or very guilty. And that happens within an episode of a binge. Now, these episodes usually happen in periods of 2 hours, and in this period, you eat a absurdly amount of food in a short amount of time, compared to somebody who would eat normally in the same amount of time under the same amount of circumstances. And during these episodes, you have a sense of a lack of control, that you can't stop eating, that you need to continue. And I do want to specify that binge eating disorder is not associated with bulimia, actually just the binge eating itself. So it is separate from bulimia nervosa, it's separate. Binges can range from mild, which is 1 to 3 episodes a week, or to extreme, 14 or more. Now, the health risks that come with this are not well known. You obviously know about anorexia nervosa and the health risks that come with that, or bulimia and the health risks that come with that. But with binge eating disorder, there are health risks. The health risks are weight gain and obesity, but I do want to specify that not all overweight or obese people have an eating disorder. high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and emotional and mental distress, which you can clearly see in these two people's videos. Now you can ask, why are you making this video? I'm making this video because these two YouTubers are on a platform and they are spreading misinformation about dieting, and they are spreading misinformation about binge eating, and they are making people feel like they can't get out of the cycle, that they can't break the habit, but you can. And I believe this is dangerous because we have these things called mirror neurons, and they fire off when we observe other people, especially when we're observing someone who we want to be like, who we want to emulate. And these two people have a following where they believe that what they say is true, that what they're doing is right, what every information that they give out is right, and they follow them and they want to look up to them. But the problem with that is the mirror neurons fire off, and then they start emulating that behavior. So if they see you kind of giving up, then they're gonna give up because you gave up. The role model gave up. If they see you binge eating, which you countlessly put on YouTube and put a word over it, mukbang, and they'll do it too. That's why this is dangerous. You have set yourself into a role of a leader for people, and a leader for a disease, a mental health disorder, an eating disorder, a serious eating disorder. You have set yourself in the role of a leader or role model, and you continue to fail and spread misinformation. That's why I'm making this video. I do want to talk about the binge eating cycle that they somewhat promote. And the cycle goes as follows. It's a cycle. It just continues. I'm just going to start at a random point, but it's a cycle. It's continuous, like it doesn't stop. So you feel deprived, you overwhelming urge to eat, then you binge. You have your binge. Then you feel guilty and out of control, and then you feel ashamed and you go into a diet. And this was the cycle that I was stuck in. I would diet, drink a smoothie a day, and then I would feel so hungry because I was malnourished, I would binge. And then you feel guilty, and then you go back into the cycle. And you can see this happening here, especially with Amber. For example, we use Optavia. Who knows if she was telling the truth or not about feeling satisfied on Optavia, because I know there's a lot of people who it has worked for. But who knows, or even when she's just going on her calorie deficits and she cuts way too low, she's depriving herself and then she binges. And it's a continuous cycle because then you feel bad and then you want to go back and it's a cycle. And even though she has her own cycle, I know some of you guys know this, she has, her own little cycle going on. The binge eating cycle is within that. And then you get people who want to get better, so they look up to her and they see her doing these diets and they're like, oh, I'll try this too. And they see her going through these crazy diets and they do a cycle as well. And it's just not acceptable. Now I do want to read a small statement from somebody who has been watching Amber for a long time. They were a binge eater as well, and I just want to read a small statement of what they said to me of how watching her and Chantel makes her feel. So, they make me feel ashamed of something I couldn't control. The way they exploit the illness for monetization. I looked up to them at one point for advice on how to overcome and cope with BED, and all they did was make a mockery out of it. It's kind of painful to watch them at this point because of how they are representing BED on their platforms. And by spreading misinformation, strengthening the stigmas around those who have eating disorders. For me, watching them upsets me and it makes me so angry, because here are two women who say they have binge eating disorder, but they continue to do mukbangs, to go out to eat, to just do things that are slaps in the face. So when people who actually have it, they see this and they go, there's no way I can get out of this. It's disgusting to me for someone who's working hard on changing their body, who's working hard on getting better, who fought against having binge eating disorder. It is disgusting. What would I like to see from these two ladies? Get off of YouTube and get help. YouTube is obviously not the place for you. For some people, you can thrive on YouTube. You can soar. You can find your ground, find your people, find your community. But when you're this close, this dire straits, you need to get off of YouTube and get serious. Money does not matter if you're dead. And that's the sad truth of it. Binge eating disorder is not a joke. And it's very misunderstood and underrepresented. I'm gonna throw up a few YouTubers who had binge eating disorder. The one I really like to watch is Jordan Shrinks, and I'm gonna throw him up right now.
And just kind of doing what I needed to do to educate myself on the disorder. I do feel recovered. However, I honestly do not think I will have a completely normal relationship with food. I struggled with binge eating disorder after losing weight, just like I struggled with food addiction prior to losing weight. I have never in my life had a normal relationship with food. And while I do feel recovered and that I don't have the urge to binge eat anymore, it is still something I think about every single day. The main difference is I don't act on it. And honestly, that is enough. If you have struggled with an eating disorder, you know that not acting on your urges is enough.
Crying. I knew I need to change. I knew I had to change my life, because you shouldn't be reacting to that when you don't get the junk food and you can't binge. So I knew I was coming off of an addiction of food because of the withdrawals.
And like, I wasn't thinking about what it would do to my body. I wasn't thinking about how I would feel after or the next day. I was just thinking right there in that moment, and I wanted it.
So please take this seriously, because I understand that you're getting money from this. I do. I get it. But your health is in jeopardy, and you have millions of people. You have people looking up to you who have this disorder. And you have people who you're representing to the world who have this disorder. And you're making a mockery of it. And it's disgusting. And it's really sad at this point to see that you can't see what you're doing to yourself and to others. So I just feel like you should take a leave off of YouTube for a while. Come back when you've lost some weight. Come back when you find your momentum. Come back when you find that power, that strength. And then go for it. But as of right now, this is not it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. I know this was a little bit more serious. I did want to pull some real facts and everything like that for you. I'll link them in the description. All the YouTubers that I found, I'll link them in the description as well. And just please be healthy. If you do have binge eating disorder, please get help mentally. You need a psychologist, and you do need a doctor. Please, it's serious. Eating disorders are not a game. It's not funny. It's not for monetary gain. Please. And again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Disorder, women, boys, and